laughing because
that is the truth.
we're trying desperately to find a reason to sort of, temper the enthusiasm. But
I'll tell you why I'm laughing.
I'll give praise if a player's doing well, but Anthony has been poor.
We haven't even got through the warm-up and you're already shaking your head at Sam Matterface. This is going to be a long night on
He knows I love him.
Are you taking a cue from Adrian? He's been in a bolshy mood tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, we get him some sweets.
No, listen, as I said on breakfast this morning, Rashford's been an idiot. And the fact that, people don't necessarily believe, and it could be true, he could have been ill and that's why he missed training, but people aren't ready just to instantly believe it because of everything that's gone on, because of all the rumours that go on. But
it's not just rumours. There's photographs and CCTV footage of him in Belfast doing what he was doing. And at the end of the day, once you've seen that, you can't unsee it. It's in people's minds.
It's reality, and he's got to go with that. And no matter... Going and giving gifts to underprivileged kids is a beautiful thing, but so many footballers do it, and they don't all get Henry Winter with them while they're doing it. So he's not won any friends by coming out and doing what he's done. What he really should do is take Henry Winter on a night out on Deansgate, and let's see the real Marcus Rashford, shall we? That's what I want to see. If Henry Winter is that close to Marcus Rashford, let's have that exclusive, shall we?
I am sticking my hand up. I will go along as the bag man.
Now that I want to see. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, BigGambleAware.org.
The big preview on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+, GambleAware.org.
Ray Parlour, Arsenal legend, Arsenal Invincible. He's with Alan on the breakfast show tomorrow morning, and they will mark Mikel Arteta's 5th year in charge at the Emirates. They'll also have comedians Lee Mack, he sports Man City, Chris McCausland sports Liverpool. They're in the studio at 9 ahead of their new Christmas TV comedy. That's TalkSport Breakfast from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You're listening to Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes, 18+, BigGambleAware.org. 10 minutes to kick off here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+, GambleAware.org. The odds are 3 to 1 or greater. 18+, GambleAware.org.
A great Christmas party with a little spread to match. Grab those deluxe goodies quick before they get snatched. Ooh, like salmon and cream cheese vol au vents, mini ham hock and whole grain mustard top crumpets, and prawn toasties. Now just $3.49 with Lidl Plus. Have a magical Christmas with Lidl. GB only, subject to availability. Offer ends 31st of December. Terms apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV.
When it comes to sports betting, it's important to cool off and play safe. Set deposit limits to control your spending. Set timeouts when you need a break. And set reality checks to know how long you've been playing. Showtime ain't always go time. Stay safe, players, at BetMGM.
18+, please gamble responsibly.
Access to premium sports betting insights just got easier with Sporting Life Plus, and it's all completely free. Join today for exclusive insights from Willie Mullins, unlimited replays of all UK and Irish races, and track your favourite horses, jockeys and trainers with Sporting Life's My Stable Tracker. Plus, get early access to premium articles and expert tips. Sporting Life Plus, unmissable content delivered daily, all completely free. Search Sporting Life Plus to find out more.
You know all about total football. Now, LiveScore Bet brings you total betting. It's everything you love about LiveScore. Scores and stats play alongside great odds, offers, free-to-play games, and a slick bet builder. Everything in one place. And to top it off, new customers can enjoy £30 in free bets when they bet £10 on sports. LiveScore Bet. Total betting.
1.5 minimum odds, settle in first 14 days, free bets valid 7 days, £10 for bet builder only. T's and C's and deposit exclusions apply. Bet responsibly, 18+, GambleAware.org.
Imagine winning £15 million on Christmas Day. The £15 million lotto jackpot must be won on Christmas Day. There's still time to get in the draw. Lotto, will you be the next millionaire? The National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Get an expert guide to all the latest speculations, signings and spending sprees with Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. From the latest deals worth knowing to where the big money transfers are going. Get the inside track in one all-covering football finance feature. Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Join Tesco Mobile and get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. For applicable terms and verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Locked on and ready to go.
Blasted into the corner of the net.
The League Cup live on TalkSport.
I'll correct myself. I don't usually win things. I always win things in my second year.
And Postecoglou is still on course for at least one trophy.
When you are searching for silverware, you've got to take every chance.
Certainly the Carabao Cup, they've got great opportunity in that. They've got a home draw, they've got a real chance there.
They could win a cup. I'm deadly serious. They could win a cup. It's a home game, which I think against a big club in United, so it'll be a really good fixture.
Labacoli has given it straight to Fernandes inside the area. He's sat the goalkeeper down. He's free at the stroke. Fernandes smashes it in. Manchester United are going to the quarter-finals.
We have to win something. Somewhere.
Oh, I think we'll all agree he's been very impressive, hasn't he?
There's something about Ruben Amorim. He's got the best out of them.
The most important thing is to win and to see something different in the team in every game.
Just a few minutes away from the teams coming out for this, the big one, the final quarter-final in the Carabao Cup. And they're playing for the right to join Liverpool, Newcastle and Arsenal in the semi-finals. It's Tottenham against Manchester United here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. By the way, breakfast tomorrow, 6 a.m. Brazil's bat is keeping him out again. Shabana Hearn in for the big man tomorrow from 6. Gabby Agbonlahor with Shabana as well. They were on this morning, actually. I was with them from 7 till 7:30. Shaban claims that women say 1,000 more words than men every day. So listen to the commentary tonight. Leanne and Sam, see who says more words on the commentary tonight. Count them up for us and send it to us by 10 o'clock and we'll read your name out. If you manage to do all that, we will definitely read your name out. I must flag up something that's in the programme tonight as well. It is an interview with TalkSport goddess, celebrity Spurs fan Reshmin Chowdhury. She's in the programme tonight, giving it the big one about Ange and entertaining football. Quote, when Spurs are hot, they're hot. She says she's more open about being a Spurs fan on radio than on TV. You get the authentic Reshmin Chowdhury on Talk Sport. Do you want a selection of Reshmin quotes from the interview?
Well, I've got one for you. She sent me a text saying, can you save me a copy?
Amazing. I'm going to get her to sign my copy. Here's some quotes from the Reshmin Chowdhury interview. We were so lucky to have Harry Kane. Oh, please, pass the sick bag. And there's more. I don't get to as many matches as I'd like. Oh, that old excuse, is it? That one. So when Spurs were winning, she said in this interview, when Spurs were winning the Champions League semi-final in Amsterdam, a game she picks as the best ever, she was watching Arsenal in the Europa League in Spain.
In the Conference League table. And they've got plenty of support this evening in the stands. And in fact, so many of the fans over in Ireland were hoping to get a ticket to this game that Chelsea fans have been warned they will face bans if they were to sell their tickets to some of the travelling Irish fans. So the two teams are lined up on the pitch as the Conference League theme rings around the stadium. So while that happens, let's have a look at the team news for this evening. Well, Enzo Maresca has made 9 changes to the Chelsea side that beat Brentford 2-1 in the Premier League on Sunday afternoon. Marc Cucurella and Noni Madueke are the only players to keep their places. Christopher Nkunku, Mark Yu and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall are all named in the starting 11. So the Chelsea team in full. In goal it's Philip Jorgensen. In defence it's Joshua Achimpong, Axel Disasi, Renato Vega and Marc Cucurella. In midfield it's Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall and Cesare Casadei. Noni Madueke, Christopher Nkunku and Tariq George are all playing behind Mark Yu. As for the visitors, Shamrock Rovers, Stephen Bradley has kept faith with the side that beat Borat's 3-0 in their last Conference League game. So the Shamrock Rovers 11 in full. In goal is Leopold. In defence is Daniel Cleary, Roberto Lopez and Lee Grace, with Neil Farrugia and Johnny Kenny up front. Johnny Kenny has scored 5 goals in 5 games in the Conference League so far, one of the joint top scorers. Willie Diligent is our referee from France as the two teams just line up together for their photos on the pitch. I'll just quickly run through the substitutes for you this evening. For Chelsea, it's Sanchez, Tosin, Neto, Felix, Sancho, Dyer, Vale, Bergstrom, Raksaki, Murray Campbell and Mueka. As for Shamrock, it's McAneff, Green, Burke, Kavanagh, Nugent, Clark, Mandrew, Stacey, O'Sullivan, Byrne, Noonan. That's Conan Noonan and Alex Noonan as well. So the two captains are just in the centre circle with the referee for the coin toss. Chelsea captained this evening by Axel Disasi, while the Shamrock Rovers captain is Roberto Lopez, the most capped player in the history of the League of Ireland, representing Cape Verde. He's got over 34 caps, the 32-year-old, also known as Pico Lopez, but we'll go by Roberto Lopez this evening. I don't think we got that quite friendship relationship going on as of yet. So it's a massive test for Stephen Bradley. Impressed in this competition so far. They did finish second in the league last season, but he has been linked with a move away from Shamrock, perhaps to England, Millwall being one of the clubs who he could be going to some point in the future. So it will be Shamrock Rovers facing Chelsea. It's the first time Chelsea have faced a side from Ireland. Shamrock in green and white hoop shirts, green shorts, green socks. They're shooting from left to right. They've kicked us off. And Chelsea are all in blue at home, shooting from right to left. And Chelsea have an early throw-in on this near side that Mark Cucurella throws back to Renato Vega. Philip Jurgensen with his first touch of the game. Jurgensen, of course, a signing in the summer from Villarreal. He's been an ever-present in this tournament, including in the playoff games ahead of the knockout round. He's played 7 games. He's conceded only 6 goals. It's one of the best defences in this competition, along with Shamrock, who are very sturdy at the back. Expected to play a back 3 this evening as Disasi plays to Vega. He just lets the ball trickle under his foot, but he's under no pressure. He's under pressure now. He's forced to go backwards. Jorgensen back to Vega. Feeds it into midfield to Cucurella, to George. He fires it at Cucurella, but it comes loose for the young winger. And he's on the attack. Feeds the ball down the line to Gu. He cuts it inside. He's in the area, trying to get onto his favourite right foot, but that's a really good tackle from Lopez. But he doesn't clear it very well, only as far as Cucurella. George now has it on this near touchline. Plays it inside to Cassidy. He's got the gloves on a cold evening in West London. The Italian youngster, as it's out on the far side with Madueke. It's a loose pass to Dewsbury Hall and he loses possession. And Shamrock are going to try and hit Chelsea on the break, but they haven't got many players forwards. Chelsea had 4 or 5 blue shirts compared to the 1 shirt of Shamrock Rovers in those green and white hoops. Gary O'Neill now plays it back to Lopez. First time pass to Cleary. Cleary tries to feed it into midfield, but Nkunku wins it. Plays it to Cassidy. Into Dewsbury Hall. Back to Disassi. Chelsea in Shamrock Rovers' half. Acheampong has a shot from distance, and it's almost into the upper stand behind the goal. The youngster, he's been with the club since he was 8 years old, Joshua Acheampong. He was in the under-8s. He made his full debut in the last game in this competition against Astana. And actually yesterday, he signed a new contract with the club until June 2029. So it's an exciting time for Joshua Acheampong and his family right now. He's only 18 years of age and he's starting a game once again for the mighty Chelsea. Shamrock Rovers put a cross in, it's way across the box, no one was in the area and it goes out of danger and it's out for a Chelsea goal kick. Head coach Stephen Bradley looks a little bit confused at that decision because they made some good headway on that left hand side and it was just a wayward cross pretty much to no one. Vega plays it back to Jurgensen. Jurgensen in all orange this evening. Plays it to Vega. He feeds it into midfield. Good control by Nkunku. Lays it off to George. Back to Nkunku. Nkunku's on the attack on the left-hand side. He's going to try and run at Lopez. Feeds down the line to Kukurea, who's rushing into the box. And the ball deflects off a Shamrock Rovers defender. And it's out for a corner. It was a good bit of defending from Lee Grace. Nkunku and Kukurea linking up well. As Kukurea just tried to put a low cross into the 6-yard box. Grace just got in front of the ball. And this will be Chelsea's first corner of the game. Inside 5 minutes at Stamford Bridge. Disassi's forward for it. Cesare Cassidy is actually quite a tall figure for a central midfielder. He'll be a target. Acheampong is up there as well. And Nkunku will take this corner kick. The referee sees something he doesn't like. He's gone over to speak to the two captains, Lopez and Disassi. There's a whole cluster of players in and around the penalty spot. So it looks like a lot of toilet rolls, or it looks like receipt papers have been thrown onto the pitch towards Nkunku. He's got a smile on his face. The game will just briefly stop. Of course, that corner flag is right by the away end, by the Shamrock Rovers fans. The referee's just taking his time. I'm not sure what he's doing at the moment. The Shamrock Rovers fans are certainly enjoying themselves in the stand on this huge away day. It's only the 5th time in their history that they faced a team from England. They first faced Manchester United back in the 1950s, in the 57-58 season, in the old European Cup. And then they last played Tottenham. That was in the 2011-2012 season, back in the Europa League. Well, a couple of the Chelsea players are now just removing the streamers of sorts off from the pitch, and then Nkunku prepares to take his corner kick. Cassidy, Acheampong, Disassi, Vega, all targets for Nkunku in the Shamrock Rovers penalty area for this corner on the near side. Finally, the debris has been cleared, and Nkunku gets ready to take this corner kick. Nkunku, who's been in fabulous form in this competition. And the referee says we can finally get play back underway after a bit of a 2-minute break. Nkunku raises his arms. Corner comes in towards the near post, it's flicked on. It's cleared by Shamrock Rovers as far as George. He's by the touchline, tries to put the ball back in, but it goes out for another corner. Tyreek George Another one of the youngsters in the side today. Been with Chelsea since he was 8 years of age. Only 18. Chelsea now have a corner on the far side. Cross comes in towards the near post. It's headed clear by Shamrock Rovers. Only as far as Kukureya. Madueke now has it on the far side, on the edge of the area. He plays it back. It's now with Renato Veiga. There's a 1-2 with Nkunku in the centre circle now. Nkunku again, gives it to Casadei. He's forced to go back and play it to his captain this evening, Axel Disasi. Bit of a loose pass now, back to Disasi from Casadei again, but he has the time to play it back to Jurgensen, and Chelsea will rebuild with Veiga. Jurgensen. Disasi, the former Monaco defender, part of France's squad at the 2022 World Cup. Of course, yesterday marked the 2-year anniversary of that epic final between France and Argentina, which Argentina won on penalties. As the ball goes out of play on the far side, Chelsea have a throw-in right by the corner flag. The youngster Achampong will take it. He's asking Madueke to come closer. Shamrock Rovers players are marking pretty tightly. Goes into Keenan Dewsbury Hall of Achampong. Bit of a run with the ball. Plays it to Veiga. Ball bobbling on this Stamford Bridge pitch. Tariq George on this near side now. Back to Veiga. Another miscontrol. That's twice he's let the ball run under his foot, Renato Veiga. Has he got Kukureya's boots on, perhaps, from that Spurs game where he slipped? Dewsbury Hall manages to get the ball to Madueke. Plays it back to Casadei. Over to Renato Veiga. Into the feet of Kukureya. First time pass to Tariq George. That was really well done from the Spaniard. He gets the ball back down the line. George again. Couple of step overs. Cross comes in. It's headed clear by Shamrock Rovers. As far as Achampong. Over to Noni Madueke. Achampong again. Madueke on the far side. Puts the cross in towards Kukureya, but it goes all the way to the goalkeeper. Of course, Kukureya scored with a header against Brentford at the weekend. Again, popping up in the penalty area. It's interesting to see his position in this game, because he's not playing a left back as we've seen him play before, where he goes kind of up and down that wing. He's playing that more of that inverted role. And Shamrock Rovers give the ball away to Gu. He has a shot, it's blocked. Poor bit of defending in the first place from Shamrock Rovers, but they recovered. Tariq George puts the cross in. Headed out once more. Nkunku nods it across to Casadei. Achampong on the far side. Casadei again. Couple of 1-2s with Nkunku, who now has the ball. Casadei. Chelsea with 87% of possession in these opening minutes at Stamford Bridge. We're in the 12th minute. Casadei switches the ball onto the far side to Madueke, who brings it down nicely. Being chased by Honohan. Ball comes in as far as Kukureya flicks it on. Comes to Tariq George, he pulls the ball back to Kukureya, but it's just nabbed right in front of him. He's got the ball back though. Veiga, back to Disasi. Chelsea are living in Shamrock Rovers' half at the moment. Madueke slows things down on the far side. Keenan Dewsbury Hall to Casadei. Back to Disasi. Over to Renato Veiga. Of course, Chelsea had a big win the last time they were at home in the Conference League. Tariq George, low cross into the area, not very well delivered. Darren Burns tries to bring the ball away for Shamrock Rovers, but Tyreek George has it. Plays it to Cucurella. He gives it to Renato Vega. Cassidy plays it back to Disassi. Achumpong. Out to the far side. To Madueke. Tries to beat his man on the right wing. Plays the ball inside to Keenan Dewsbury Hall in the box. His shot is blocked by Lopez. Vega's tripped. Chelsea still have the ball. Disassi to Cucurella. Gives it back to his captain for the evening. Fizzes the ball into Nkunku, but he can't find Dewsbury Hall. That was good play there by Grace to win it back, but Shamrock Rovers aren't doing very well when they have the ball. They're losing it very, very quickly. Nkunku now has it. He's able to turn. He's facing goal. Trying to get onto his favourite right foot. Clips over the top to Keenan Dewsbury Hall. It just is over his head, and it goes into the hands of Leon Pearls. It was a nice idea from the former Leipzig man. He just flicked it over the top. Dewsbury Hall made a wonderful run, but it pretty much just clipped his fringe, maybe a little bit of his hair, but he couldn't get his head onto the end of it, the former Leicester City man. It's Pearls. Knocks it into Chelsea's half. Vega wins the header. Shamrock tried to knock the ball forward again. Disassi wins it. Cucurella battles in midfield. Burns has it on this near side though for Shamrock Rovers. Feeds it. And the ball comes into the box, and that was a massive chance for Shamrock Rovers. Dylan Watts put in a fantastic cross right on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was a brilliant delivery, and of all the people Shamrock Rovers would have wanted it to fall to, it would have been Johnny Kenny, and he got it all wrong. He couldn't get his shot on target. He's scored 5 goals in 5 games in this competition, and that was a huge chance for Shamrock to take the lead, and they blew it. Chelsea now have it with Renato Vega. That is a warning though to Chelsea that they're dominating possession, but they're not getting enough shots on goal. Madueke brings the ball down brilliantly to beat his man on the far side. Well, the Shamrock Rovers win the ball back. Eventually they clear their lines. Vega battling in the middle of midfield, but he gives away a foul. Vega, who has played a combination of positions so far for Chelsea, predominantly at left back, but now playing left centre half. Of course, there's injuries at the moment to Fofana, Benoit Badiashile. Tosin has played a lot of games for Chelsea in this competition, but knowing that he'll likely be needed at the weekend means that he is not playing this evening's game. And that's a bit dangerous from Poom on the edge of the area. He loses the ball, and Nkunku now has it. It's out to Tyreek George. George puts a crossing with his right foot to Noni Madueke, and his shot just goes wide. He didn't get the cleanest of kicks, the winger. His right-footed effort bouncing down into the ground. It's a lovely ball from Tyreek George. And he's kind of half-footed it. He's almost hit it with the sole of his foot, and it's bounced down, up and over and wide from Noni Madueke. Noni Madueke, who's become a bit of a regular in the Chelsea first 11, playing a lot on the right side of Chelsea's attack. But this is a concerning sight for Enzo Maresca. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who's been pretty much a regular in this almost second string Chelsea Conference League side. He's gone down. He was under a bit of pressure from Marcus Poom on the edge of the area, and he's gone down. But I think he will be okay. The Leicester City man, signed in the summer, of course played with Maresca. Well, played for Maresca, not with Maresca. Played for Maresca back at Leicester last season. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall had such a good performance for Leicester and performances for them last season. He was part of the Championship Team of the Year as Leicester got promoted back to the Premier League. He has scored in this competition. Got a goal in their opening game win against Ghent in that 4-2 home victory. Vega, Neto and Nkunku also on the score sheet. As Kiernan Dewsbury Hall makes his way back onto the field. Chelsea have a throw in on the far side. Acheampong will look to take it. Slowly making his way down the touchline. Lofts the ball into the air, it's headed clear. It's back with the young defender. He plays it to Vega, who gives it to Cucurella, who's in space. He's able to cross the halfway line. He's speeding at the Shamrock Rovers defence. Plays it inside to Nkunku. Acheampong out to Madueke on the far side. Controls it with his right foot. Now it's onto his left foot. Acheampong to Cassidy. Golden ball and golden boot winner of the Under-20 World Cup in 2023. Cassidy. Acheampong on the far side. He's going to run at Honohan. His ball into the box was blocked. Bit of a loose pass to Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. And Disasi now gives it to Acheampong. Cassidy. Disasi. Acheampong on the halfway line for Chelsea. Playing it right back this evening. Had no options forward, so he played it back to his goalkeeper. His first time pass to Vega was a little long, but he managed to control it. Renato Vega joining Chelsea in the summer from Basel, the Portuguese defender. 7-year contract. Those long contracts for Chelsea have been part of the Todd Boehly regime ever since he took over from Roman Abramovich. Enzo Maresca shouts instructions on the sidelines. Of course, Chelsea looking to cement their place top of the Conference League. They've already qualified, having won 5 games out of 5. Of course, one player missing from Chelsea this evening is Mykhailo Mudryk. Enzo Maresca said in his press conference yesterday that they support Misha after he tested positive for a banned substance. So he obviously cannot play this evening. Nkunku now has it. Plays it along the halfway line to Acheampong. He plays it to his right, to the far side to Madueke, who's going to try and run at Honohan. Twisting, turning, tries to get by the byline. Really good defending there by Joshua Honohan. He did well. It's a corner to Chelsea. The Irish defender who scored against Larne in this competition. He's certainly going to have to do a lot more defending than goal scoring against a player like Noni Madueke. So Kiernan Dewsbury Hall is looking to take the corner kick on the far side. Will be a left-footed in swinger. Comes in towards the near post. It's flicked on by a Shamrock Rovers player. Comes off the chest of Lopez, and they do manage to clear. And Mark Cucurella now has it on the halfway line. Ball is loose in midfield, but Cucurella wins the ball back. So Acheampong. Madueke plays it into Nkunku, who's dropping into some deep areas pretty regularly. In the starting 11, you'd say that he's kind of in a number 10 position, but at times he's dropping more into a number 8. He wants to pick the ball up and make things happen with the ball as the ball is headed back, and it is nodded into the back of the net. That was an absolutely huge mistake by Shamrock Rovers, and Mark Yu has given Chelsea the lead. What on earth happened there? A huge mistake by the Shamrock Rovers defence and the goalkeeper Leon Pearls. The header back was just a little bit too long and Mark Yu took full advantage. So it began with Chelsea at the back. Renato Vega flicked the ball over the top towards Tyreek George, and it's Burns who heads it back towards his goalkeeper, but he hadn't checked where Pearls was. Pearls was flat-footed. He wasn't going to get to the ball. Mark Yu anticipated. He got there ahead of Lopez. He banged into the post for his troubles, but he managed to give Chelsea the lead. That's why they're top of the Conference League table. A mistake by Shamrock Rovers. Mark Yu has given Chelsea the lead, and it's Chelsea 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. Yu now has 4 goals in 6 matches in this competition. Summer signing from Barcelona. He scored twice at Astana in their last match day. And he's given Chelsea the lead against Shamrock Rovers. Well, their Irish side have made a bit of a fight back in the last few seconds, battling in Chelsea's left-back area, and they have a throw-in. It's with Burns, tries to put the cross in, flicks off a Chelsea defender into the hands of Jurgensen. That's the error they want Burns. They need Burns on the attack on that right-hand side, not in defence, where he's heading the ball back waywardly. Achampong. Disasi. Cassidy. Plays it over to Dewsbury Hall. Back to Disasi. We're in the 25th minute at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. Thanks to a goal by Mark Yu. Shamrock Rovers now have the ball in midfield. They try to play it over the top. And Kenny's got there ahead of Disasi. Will he get a shot away? He does. It's on goal. It's a good save from Jurgensen. Disasi complains to his fellow defenders. But it was a decent chance for Johnny Kenny. It was a lovely ball over the top by Gary O'Neill in midfield. It was almost like a sandwich by a golfer. It nearly got away from Kenny. He slipped as he took his shot. It would have been top bins, but it was a good save by Jurgensen. And Shamrock Rovers have a corner. It's going to be taken from this near side by Dylan Watts. The referee just having a word with Cesare Casadei for some tight marking on Daniel Cleary in the box, right by the penalty spot. Corner comes in towards the near post, comes out to a Shamrock Rovers player, and it's into the back of the net. Out of nowhere, Marcus Poom has equalised for Shamrock Rovers. His teammates rush to hug around him. The fans in the away end are going berserk. They cannot believe it. Philip Jurgensen's not impressed whatsoever. But it's a massive moment for Marcus Poom and Shamrock Rovers. The corner comes in from Watts. It's flicked out of the near post and right on the edge of the area. It's a left foot, half foot volley. And it's just deflected into the goal. I think it hits Cassidy. It does. The volley bounces into the ground off the side of Cassidy. There's no way Jurgensen can keep that out. And it's now Chelsea 1, Shamrock Rovers 1. A brilliant moment for the Irish side and Marcus Poom, the Estonian international, getting his first goal in the Conference League. And Poom, you think you recognise the name Poom? Yes, you do. It is the son of the former Derby County goalkeeper, Mark Poom. Remember him? Well, it's now his son. It's now Marcus Poom making a name for himself in the Conference League, scoring against the mighty Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea get a free kick on the halfway line, and Kunku received a little bit of a kick. He's gone down to the ground, slowly making his way back to his feet. In fact, he pretty much just got a bit trod on there by Gary O'Neill. And the Shamrock Rovers fans in the away end are having an absolute party at the moment. They've seen their team score at the European and English giants, Chelsea, with all the money as Disasi slips. He recovers and gives the ball to Vega, into Cassidy. First time pass to Kukurea, out to Tyreek George on this near touchline. He cuts inside, tries to do a big switch towards Noni Madueke. It's a beautiful pass, really well controlled by the English winger. Feeds the ball into the area, but it's cleared first time by Poom, the goal scorer, as far as Disasi. To Vega, feeds it into Nkunku. That was a loose pass, but he does manage to get the ball to Dewsbury Hall, does Nkunku. Achimpong. Nkunku's coming deep for the ball once more. Of course, Nkunku scored 5 goals in this competition, 7 if you include the playoffs. Nkunku now has on the edge of the area. He's brought down, and that'll be a free kick right on the edge of the area. And the yellow card comes out. And it's to the goal scorer, Marcus Poom. Stopping the run of Christopher Nkunku right on the edge of the area. Just coming from behind. Chelsea have got a huge opportunity to retake the lead. As the Shamrock Rovers wall is just being walked back by our French referee. Madueke and Nkunku both over this free kick. Arguably it would suit a left footer more, but you feel Nkunku's going to want this. He's been in such great form in this competition. Madueke will as well be interested, but we will see who takes it. Kin and Dewsbury Hall just has a word with the 2 Chelsea players. There's a couple of Chelsea players making their own wall next to Shamrock Rovers' 4-man wall. So we get ready for this free kick. Half an hour gone, and Nkunku straight into the wall. It wasn't very well taken. It was hit almost at thigh level from the former Leipzig forwards. But Chelsea have a corner. They take it quickly, and Nkunku now has it. Although they're told to take it again. The referee wasn't happy with how quick that was taken. So Dewsbury Hall will take it again for Chelsea. Achimpong's in the area. Corner comes in. Headed clear in the 6-yard box. Ball intercepted by Watts, and Chelsea will have a throw-in on the far side. Dewsbury Hall leaves it for Achimpong. Chelsea just trying to find some movement and give Achimpong an option. And Nkunku now has it. Cassidy. Back to Disasi in his own half. Plays it to Renato Vega, who's in the Shamrock Rovers half. He switches it, and that's a poor delivery. He tried to play it towards Noni Madueke. He apologises. It's been a little bit shaky, the Portuguese defender. This evening, thus far, he doesn't look particularly comfortable at centre half. His distribution hasn't been the best so far. Of course, as I mentioned, Chelsea trying not to use Tosin, trying to keep Tosin fit. But he is one of the options on the bench if needs be. There was talk about whether Harvey Vale will play at right back today. Perhaps he could be an option for Chelsea in the second half. Another one of their academy players. As Gu nicks the ball off Kenny. And it goes out for a throw-in on the far side. Shamrock Rovers will have possession of the ball. That's not something we said much in this game so far. Chelsea dominating possession without really testing Pearls too often in the Shamrock Rovers goal. And yet it's still Chelsea 1, Shamrock Rovers 1 in this first half. Chelsea taking the lead through Mark Yu. And Marcus Poom getting an equaliser. Burns plays the ball back to Cleary, who plays back to his goalkeeper. It's Shaw though, and Q comes over and puts it into the back of the net. And for the second time in the game, Chelsea have taken the lead thanks to a horrific mistake by the Shamrock Rovers defence. The pass was underhit by Daniel Cleary, back to his goalkeeper, Leon Pearls, and Gu capitalised. Under zero pressure, the ball went back to Cleary, slightly closed down by Tyreek George, and the pass had no zip on it. Pearls didn't come out quick enough, and Gu saw it immediately, nicked it right in front of the German goalkeeper, rounded him, and passed it into the net with his left foot. It's really well taken from the Spanish youngster. He scored again in this competition, and it's Chelsea 2, Shamrock Rovers 0, and Shamrock Rovers are their own enemy in this match. Cassidy with the header. Ball is loose, it's bouncing up and down in the Chelsea half. Kukurea tries to hoof the ball clear at left back, and it goes out of play. It'll be a Shamrock Rovers throw-in. Mark Yu now with 5 goals in 6 games in the Europa Conference League this season. Tyreek George into Gu. George goes down and Kunku has it. Plays it into Gu. Shamrock win the ball. Burns. Watts plays it back to Cleary. He knocks it back to Poom, who gives it back to Pearls, who's trying to beat Gu. Gu nicks the ball off him. Shot comes in, cleared off the line. I think it was going wide anyway. Mark Gu has been really on top of things in that Shamrock Rovers penalty area. He's anticipated danger and trouble and nervousness from the Shamrock defenders. And it really wouldn't surprise me if he gets to play more in the second half, if he gets to play at least an hour, that Mark Yu could get a hat-trick. Because you suspect that some of the defence for the visitors is going to get more nervy. Renato Vega to Disasi. Achimpong. Bring the ball forward. He's got Madueke to his right. Gives it to the winger. Cross comes in towards Gu. Headed out by Cleary. And then his fellow defender just nods the ball out for a corner. It was Honohan. And Chelsea will take the set piece from the far side. That was better from Cleary. A no-nonsense header out as Dewsbury Hall will take the corner from the far side. He plays it short. Kukurea now has it. Back with the former Leicester man. Cross comes in from Dewsbury Hall. It's hoisted towards the far post, but Lopez wins the header in front of Disasi. George tries to get the ball onto his right foot. Gives it to Achimpong. Bounces off a Shamrock defender. Kukurea now has it for Chelsea. Cassidy has to play it back to Dewsbury Hall, who's the furthest player back for Chelsea, and he gives it to Jurgensen. Disasi right on the edge of the Chelsea area. Renato Vega. Disasi. Renato Vega again. There's no pressure on the two Chelsea defenders. Acheampong now has it. He tries to hoist it long over the top towards Dewsbury Hall. It bounces off a Shamrock Rovers defender. They manage to clear. Acheampong has it on the far side. He's battling with Honohan. Gives it to Madueke. Nice close control from the winger. Back to Cassidy now. Trying to bring the ball forward. Squares it to Renato Vega. Out to Tariq George on the far side. On the near side, in fact. Plays it back to Nkunku. Referee was in his way. Trying to get onto his right foot. That's a really poor pass, though, from Christopher Nkunku, and Shamrock managed to clear. Disasi wins the header. Dewsbury Hall switches it to this. Near side towards Cucurella. He cushions the ball down for wins the header, but he heads it down. Shamrock Rovers desperately trying to clear from their box. They do. So with Renato Vega, he did really well battling with Johnny Kenny there. And Chelsea now have the ball. Cucurella right to Renato Vega. Disasi. Chelsea with 10 attempts on goal compared to Shamrock's 2. Cucurella feeds it into Nkunku. He's in the area. It's a really good tackle. Ball comes loose, and it's Kiernan Dewsbury Hall who gets Chelsea their 3rd goal of the game. The pressure has paid off. Shamrock thought they'd done well nicking the ball off Nkunku, but Dewsbury Hall was in the right place at the right time to make it Chelsea 3, Shamrock Rovers 1. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall getting on the score sheet for the 2nd time in this competition. It's a lovely pass through from Mark Cucurella to Nkunku. It's a nice first touch. Lopez came over. Nkunku was sandwiched between Lee Grace and Roberto Lopez, but the ball would come loose for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who then slotted it calmly with his left foot to beat Leon Pearls, the German goalkeeper. Dewsbury Hall did really well to avoid the players on the floor, such as Nkunku, such as Lopez. Maresca's pleased. He's got a scowl on his face as he celebrates. You feel there's a few things that Chelsea have been doing in this first half that he hasn't been impressed with. But Chelsea are likely to go in at half-time leading by at least 2 goals, because it's Chelsea 3, Shamrock Rovers 1. We're in the 41st minute, so we've got about 4 minutes remaining of normal time in this first half. I suspect we'll have a few minutes of stoppage time. There was that 2-minute delay when the streamers were thrown onto the field. There's also been stops for the goals. I suspect 3, possibly 4 minutes of stoppage time. The ball is out play on the near side. In fact, not just out of play, it's Shamrock Rovers who have got a free kick. And Dylan Watts will look to deliver this ball into a dangerous area, into the Chelsea penalty area. Will one of their attacking players, will a player like Johnny Kenny get on the end of it? Cross comes in towards the penalty spot, headed out by Axel Disasi. Although Tariq George loses possession. Honohan has it on the far side. Now with Gary O'Neill. Honohan tries to beat Acheampong. Really good strength from the 18-year-old, who then kicks the ball off the Irish defender. And Chelsea will have a throw-in on the far side. That was good play by Acheampong, using his physique, using his size. He will take this throw-in for the Blues. Throws it down the line. Grace wins the header. The ball is back now with Lopez. Tries to feed it into midfield. Play back to Cleary. Turns to try and face forwards. Feeds it into midfield to Farrugia. It's a good run by the attacker. He lays it off to Burns. Burns puts the cross in. Jurgensen does really well to come and collect. He clatters into one of the Shamrock players. But that was a strong bit of goalkeeping from the Swedish goalkeeper. Kukurea feeds it out to George on this near side. Tries to beat his man, but that's really good defending by Darren Burns. And Kunku now has it. Feeds it into Gu. Lays it off to Dewsbury Hall. Madueke on the edge of the area. He's now in the area. Twisting, turning. Shot comes in. Saved by Pearls. Madueke's effort with his... it down the line. Madueke, who just had a shot on goal, feeds it inside to Nkunku. Plays it through to Gu, who's on the edge of the 6-yard box. Plays it out of the area to Acheampong. Cassidy tries to feed it in to Kukurea. Chelsea still have the ball. Dewsbury Hall near the centre circle. Cassidy flicks it over to Acheampong, who controls really well to keep it in play. Cassidy has it. Dewsbury Hall. Renato Vega. Chelsea looking more confident now. George. Into Kukurea. Back to George. Forced to play the ball back to Renato Vega. Disasi. Right by the centre spot. Brings the ball into Shamrock's half. Dewsbury Hall tries to thread the ball between the defenders, but Madueke didn't run. Dewsbury Hall apologises. He knows that wasn't a great pass, and the ball trickles out for a Shamrock goal kick. We're approaching the 45-minute mark. We'll get the update on how many minutes added time will be put on the board very shortly. Stephen Bradley is looking at his watch. Of course, Shamrock did have a moment of magic when Marcus Poom equalised, but Chelsea league phase in the Europa Conference League. And Kunku wins the header. O'Neill. Now Honohan. It'll be 3 minutes of additional time in this first half. Honohan tries to beat Dewsbury Hall. He's right on the edge of Chelsea's area. Tries to put a cross in. It's a flex off Acheampong, and Shamrock have another corner. It was Chelsea not being able to clear a corner that allowed Shamrock to get their equaliser earlier. Can they benefit from another set piece? The Irish club. It'll be Dylan Watts to deliver the ball on the far side. Watts swings the ball in towards the near post. It bounces towards Honohan. He brings down a Chelsea player, and the whistle blows. That'll be a Chelsea free kick right on the edge of... Plays it back to Renato Vega. Disasi. Over to Acheampong at right back. Down the line to Noni Madueke. Acheampong. Plays it back to Disasi. Renato Vega being closed down. Feeds it out to Tariq George. He's on the halfway line. Back to Disasi. Chelsea happy just to slow things down for the last 90 seconds of this first half. They lead 3-1 at the moment. Disasi. This is good game management by Enzo Maresca's side. Disasi tries to switch the ball towards Madueke. That's a beautiful pass. He's onside. He's running at Honohan. Tries to feed it into Dewsbury Hall, but the pass is intercepted. Madueke flicks it over to Renato Vega on the halfway line. Disasi in the centre circle. Acheampong. Dewsbury Hall. Back with Disasi. Chelsea are going to continue just to slowly wind down the clock in this first half by having a 2-goal advantage. Noni Madueke on the far side. Flicked over towards Nkunku, but Lopez has done well and he just kicks the ball out for a corner. He wasn't going to take any risks in his own penalty area. Chelsea have a corner, they take it quickly. Nkunku to Madueke. Madueke twisting and turning. Puts a cross into the area, it's headed into the back of the net. And it's Mark Yu completing his hat-trick. It's a lovely header. This time, it's not from a Shamrock Rovers mistake. It's from a delicious delivery from Noni Madueke. And Yu rose above the Shamrock defence and nestled his header into the back of the net to make it Chelsea 4, Shamrock Rovers 1. Madueke. At first he was going to put the ball in with his left foot. He dummied it, went to his right, then went back to his left, and then put in the perfect left-footed cross. Yu rose above Cleary, just behind Achimpong, and it's nestled perfectly into the corner. Pearl's dived to his right, but there's no way he could reach it. That is a perfect header from Mark Yu. There's nowhere better in the net he could have put it. And he jumps for joy as he completes his hat-trick. And the half-time whistle blows. Shamrock Rovers made a mistake and Chelsea took the lead through Mark Yu. But Shamrock would equalise through Marcus Poom, hammering the ball in on the edge of the area from a corner. Another Shamrock mistake would allow Mark Yu to make it 2-1. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall would then make it 3-1, and just before the half-time whistle, Mark Yu completed his hat-trick, nestling in a header from a Noni Madueke cross. At half-time in the Europa Conference League, it's Chelsea 4, Shamrock Rovers 1.
Around the big, how am I starting in this Manchester United team? And he's been that type of player that I think Jadon Sancho didn't get given the opportunities that Anthony was given, and that's the reality.
There you go. No, listen, they're 1-0 down. They need to do something, or they're going out. And Spurs will be into the semi-final. Spurs leading Man United 1-0 live on TalkSport. Let's head to Stamford Bridge. It's half-time and a big first half for a certain Chelsea player. Here's TalkSport. Alex Curran.
Scoring on 22 minutes, seizing on a poor backwards header from Shamrock fullback Joshua Honohan to nod into an empty net. Guiu got his and Chelsea's second. 12 minutes later, another calamity in the visiting defence. Daniel Cleary this time trying to pass the ball back to his goalkeeper. It didn't get there. Guiu rounded the keeper and found the far corner. In between, actually, Marcus Poom had got Shamrock back on level terms. It was a corner from the right-hand side, and the son of the former Derby and Arsenal goalkeeper Mark Poom volleyed in left-footed via a deflection. That joy was short-lived. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall got himself on the score sheet 5 minutes before half-time, and Nkunku denied initially by an excellent sliding challenge from the Shamrock captain Roberto Lopez, but a loose ball fell kindly for Dewsbury Hall, and he picked out the bottom corner, and there was still time in stoppage time for Guiu to complete his hat-trick. Chelsea cruising. They're going to maintain their 100% record in this competition. As for Shamrock, as it stands, they're missing out on a place in the top 8 by a single point. That will mean they'll have to go through a play-off in order to qualify for the round of 16. It's Chelsea 4, Shamrock 1.
And it's not good news elsewhere for UK sides. TNS are being held 2-2. They've led twice, but both times they led, the lead lasted only a minute. 2 apiece they need to win. And Hearts, remarkably, are 1 down at home to the Moldovan side, Petro Cup. A terrible goal they gave away as well. If they do get the right result and make it into a playoff, Hearts, it'll be the first time they've gone beyond Christmas in Europe since 1989. But it's Hearts 0, Petro Cup of Moldova 1 at half-time. Let's update you from the darts at Ali Pally, Mark Wilson.
Yeah, first game of the night saw Welshman Nick Kenny keep alive his hopes of retaining his tour card as he wrapped up a comprehensive 3-0 win over American Stowe Bunce. Kenny took out the opening set 3 legs to 1 and stepped in to wrap up the second set after Bunce missed 3 darts to level up the match. Victory was sealed in magnificent style with a superb 170 checkout on the ball. That sets up a second round tie with Raymond van Barneveld. Canadian Matt Campbell leads his game with Mensah Suljovic. He took out the opening set with some fine finishing before Suljovic stepped in after Campbell missed multiple darts to make it 2-0. That was 1-1, but we've just seen Campbell reel off 3 legs on the spin to take out the third set to lead 2-1. Match continues over on TalkSport 2, live from the Alexander Palace. It's Mensah Suljovic 1, Matt Campbell 2.
WDC update on TalkSport with Village Ho Ho Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play. This festive season at one of 33 cracking UK locations.
And game day is back on Saturday, 11 a.m. with Reshmin Chowdhury. Aston Villa Man City is the lunchtime commentary at 12:30 on TalkSport 2. At the same time, Portsmouth against Coventry is live from the Championship. Game day live around the grounds with me. We've got Dean Ashton at West Ham, Alvin Martins at Brentford. I'll be at Brentford as well. All the goals as they go in, taking you around the grounds as we do on a Saturday afternoon. Ipswich Newcastle is the live game on TalkSport 2. That's not on UK TV. And don't miss Sunday session, 1:30. Sam Matface, your host, and he'll bring you all the news from plenty of games in the Premier League this Sunday. It really is a terrific show. 5 hours full-on football, keeping you updated, and they do it with passion and excitement as well. 1-0 Spurs here. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Spurs are 1-0 up. They're 11-20 to win it. The draw 14-5. United 11-2. Those are the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
And don't forget, this Saturday TalkSport brings you commentary of the huge unified heavyweight world title rematch between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, live from Saudi Arabia. You can also watch Usyk Fury 2 on DAZN pay-per-view, and the cost for the fight varies depending on what DAZN subscription you buy.
Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org. Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org. Access to premium sports betting insights just got easier with Sporting Life Plus, and it's all completely free. Join today for exclusive insights from Willie Mullins, unlimited replays of all UK and Irish races, and track your favourite horses, jockeys and trainers with Sporting Life's My Stable Tracker. Plus, get early access to premium articles and expert tips. Sporting Life Plus, unmissable content delivered daily, all completely free. Search Sporting Life Plus to find out more.
We're into extra time for PPI, and Harkus Parker could still get you the win.
If you had a loan with PPI and didn't make a claim or were denied, there's still a chance to reclaim your money.
Harkus Parker is the commercial litigation dream team you need on your side to recover what's due to you, and it's completely no win, no fee.
Plus, they'll do the fancy footwork to help you reclaim exactly what you're owed. Time to end PPI once and for all. Contact Harkus Parker now by texting PPI for free to 66777.
For your Christmas veg, Lidl's deal is immense, because you can grab each one for just 8p. Get British carrots, parsnips, Brussels sprouts, Swedes and 2 kilograms of white potatoes. Oh, and shallots too, in Lidl stores now. Have a magical Christmas with Lidl. Offers valid 19th to the 24th of December, subject to availability, selected stores, GB only.
Carabao Sport is uniquely formulated to keep you hydrated, whether you're at the gym, running the streets or bossing the midfield. Available in berry or orange flavours. Carabao Sport tastes great and is Informed Sport accredited. For a chance to see your team in this season's Carabao Cup, look for special packs of Carabao Sport in MFG, the largest independent forecourt operator in the UK. Carabao Sport, the perfect assist. UK 18 plus. See drinkcarabao.co.uk/win tickets to enter by 28th of Feb 25 and for details.
Yo, football fans, listen up. BetMGM brings Vegas entertainment to the biggest games and the biggest names. Because when it comes to betting on football, we're in a league of our own, baby. Offers? Oh, you know we got offers. Like bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
TalkSport Breakfast in partnership with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Move up through the gears every morning with top of the range sports edition, ABS, story breaking news, and more gold talk to the gallon. Plus a stellar lineup of super celebrity sports guests as standard. TalkSport Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 on TalkSport with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
Live football coverage that's beyond compare.
A quite fabulous goal.
The League Cup live on TalkSport.
But it's only a fool who doesn't want to lift a trophy at Wembley. A place in the semis up for grabs tonight.
Pedro Porro will strike one, and it took a little deflection, comes back to Solanke, and it's into the bottom corner behind the stranded Altay Biandir. He made the initial save and then just stood there and admired it as Solanke slapped the rebound home. Dominic Solanke with a goal. Manchester United concede, and all eyes are drawn to their goalkeeper. Kulusevski turns away from Fernandes too easily and smashes the ball towards the near post. It's a save by Altay Biandir. Fernandes, his strike bends towards the far corner. It's wide of the target.
Well, Spurs 1-0 up. A couple of things to mention from the crowd. Shortly after Spurs went 1-0 up, the Spurs fans sang, "We want Levy out." So it doesn't matter if they're winning or losing, they do feel the same way. A sizable chunk of the Spurs fans sang that as well. And in that first half, United fans had a banner and it said, "Excuses, Tara Marcus." And it's actually a reference to a statement from a United fan in 1989 who wanted Alex Ferguson out at that time. And that banner read, "3 years of excuses and it's still bad." I put bad in, it was another word used. Tara Fergie. Quite a famous banner of its time, and of course we know what Fergie went on to do. There is more on that story on the website, talksport.com. But Leanne Sanderson, the United fans have turned, it seems, on Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, I think ultimately, I think they were behind him up until the other day. I think all Manchester United fans want is Rashford to succeed. I think having a player that's born and bred, coming through the academy, I think that stands for something. And I think all the Manchester United fans have wanted him to succeed. And when you do stuff like that, I know he said he won't come out and almost badmouth the club, but I think sometimes actions speak louder than words. And I think, like I said, he's not letting his football do the talking. He's not available for selection because of his actions off the pitch, and it's not good enough. And when he's on the pitch, he's sulking around, he doesn't look like he wants to be there. And then some people say, he doesn't look happy. All these different things, we'll find out what it is then. How about we all find out what it is? You know what I mean? Like, all these excuses that I feel like are being made for him, the same excuses are not allowed for other people. And I think it divides. Marcus Rashford divides a lot of people because some people say, there's a player in there. There's a player in there. To be fair, if you're asking me who would rather out there, Anthony or Rashford, I'd probably have Rashford.
Yeah, it's no brainer, isn't it, really?
But that's a very, low bar when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
It's a low bar. But like I said, all Manchester United fans wanted Rashford to succeed. When you start doing stuff, it does make me sad though, Adrian. I think it's a very sad ending to something that didn't need to end that way.
Garnacho has just taken his place on the bench. One of the subs, of course. He's back. Man United have been out there a couple of minutes. They're kicking a ball around. Spurs just emerging from the tunnel. Now, very quick word. Archie Gray's 18. He's centre-back. He's played full-back for Leeds, midfield for Leeds. He's centre-back.
Yeah.
It's a wow, isn't
I know
it?
it is.
Isn't it incredible?
It is incredible, and I think the
on the
fact that he's
next page.
outmuscling a lot of the Manchester United players when they're getting in amongst it. He's gone up against Bruno a couple of times, and he just looks really comfortable in those positions. I know that when he was at Leeds, he came with a lot of prospect. A lot of people were speaking really highly of him, and he hasn't really skipped a beat, since he come to Tottenham. He doesn't look out of place at all. Comfortable on the ball, can play a multiple amount of positions. He looks quality.
Filling in at centre-back, 18-year-old Archie Gray. What a future he has got. For now, it's the immediate future. Spurs lead. Remember, you're listening to Kick-Off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes 18+. BeGambleAware.org. We're about to get the second half underway. Spurs in charge. United simply must do better or they're going out. Spurs 1, Man United 0. Second half live on TalkSport with former England striker Leanne Sanderson alongside your commentator Sam Matface.
Well, Spurs beat Manchester United earlier in the season by 3-0, and it was...
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Welcome back to coverage of Chelsea versus Shamrock Rovers. Chelsea have just kicked off the second half of this UEFA Europa Conference League game. And the Stamford Bridge side lead 4-1 thanks to a hat-trick from Mark Yu. Joshua Achimpong brings the ball inside. Tries to beat two players, but he's brought down and he wins a free kick for Enzo Maresca's side. Chelsea took the lead through Mark Yu in the first half, but Shamrock Rovers got a spectacular equaliser through Marcus Poom, sending the away fans into delirium. Yu then got a second goal following a mistake by the defender Daniel Cleary. Keane and Dewsbury Hall then made it 3-1. And Yu completed his hat-trick just before half-time with a header. But Cucurella has the ball on the far side for Chelsea. Plays it back to Renato Veiga. Cucurella infield to Nkunku. Nkunku looks up, puts the ball into the air, but it goes out for a goal kick. Chelsea made one change at the break. Noni Madueke comes off, and on comes the youngster, Harvey Vale, 21 years of age. He was on loan at Bristol Rovers last season. This is his second game in the competition. Pauls passes the ball out to Lopez. Tries to knock it into midfield, but Achimpong wins it, but it's a loose touch. The ball is bobbling in the area. O'Neill gets to the ball ahead of Cassidy, but Cucurella is able to knock it back to Renato Veiga. While Chelsea have the ball at the back with their goalkeeper Jurgensen, let me remind you of the two sides. So in goal it's Jurgensen. In defence is Achimpong, Disasi, Veiga and Cucurella. In midfield it's Dewsbury Hall and Cassidy. And then it's Vale and Kunku and George behind Mark Yu. We will get confirmation of where exactly Harvey Vale is playing very shortly. He might have taken up the left-sided position as the ball is just knocked out of play, or in fact it's just still in play, going towards the corner flag. Disasi's come over, Johnny Kenny wins it. He's trying to beat Achimpong, but Achimpong does well. The Shamrock Rovers have won the ball back. Farrugia has it on this near touchline, puts the cross in, it's very, very deep. Cucurella's there. Darragh Burns is trying to win the ball. And Kukureya just knocks the ball out for a corner kick. Good pressure there from the Irish side in front of their away fans. Of course, Johnny Kenny had 2 decent efforts in the first half. One he miskicked, and the other he forced a good save out of the Chelsea keeper. Of course, Shamrock are dangerous from corner kicks, with Marcus Poom scoring in the first half. Corner comes in, and I think it deflects off a Shamrock player, and it's out for a goal kick. I think it was Daniel Cleary with the last touch. It was Cleary's loose back pass that allowed Gu to nick the ball in front of the goalkeeper Pearls to make it 2-1 in the first half. As Jurgensen plays it to Disasi, goes out to Achampong, plays down the line to Tariq George. Really good tackle there by Farrugia. Poom plays it into Honohan, who's on the edge of Chelsea's area. Cross comes in, headed out the near post by Disasi. Disasi is down though. I think he got clattered into by one of the Shamrock players. Perhaps it was Johnny Kenny. He's just helped the French defender back up. With this little break in play, let me remind you of the Shamrock Rovers 11. In goal it's Pearls, in defence is Cleary, Lopez and Grace. Burns and Honohan are the full-backs, wing-backs. In midfield it's Watts, O'Neill and Poom, and up front it's Farrugia and Johnny Kenny, who scored 5 times in this competition. As I just said, he had 2 decent chances in the first half. Renato Vega squares it to Disasi. It looks like Shamrock Rovers are pressing a little bit higher up the field in the second half. Kukureya plays it back to Renato Vega, and it goes back to the Swedish goalkeeper Philip Jurgensen. Jurgensen again. Renato Vega tries to feed the ball into midfield. And Kunku now has it. It's out on this near touch line to Tariq George. He's running at Honohan. Got no options forwards at the moment. Lays it off to Nkunku. Gives it to Achampong. Chelsea in their all blue kit, shooting from left to right. Shamrock Rovers from right to left in their green and white hoop shirts, green shorts, green socks. Renato Vega out to Kukureya on the far side. Vega gets it again. He treads on the ball. He plays it back to Kukureya. Goes back to the Portuguese defender, and Chelsea are just going backwards at the moment. Disasi to Renato Vega, and it's all the way back with the goalkeeper. Quite passive there from Chelsea. Achampong, nice run forward, beats one man, lays it off to Tariq George on this near touch line. Of course, Madueke only playing one half of the game, probably with the game against Everton at the weekend in mind. Kukureya, that's a poor first touch towards Harvey Vale. It looks like Vale is taking up the left side of the attack for Chelsea. Wins the ball back though. Gu has it in the area. Out to Kukureya, cross comes in, but it goes to nobody, and Shamrock Rovers have the ball with Joshua Honohan. Watts clips the ball over the top, but it's not a very good delivery, and Disasi now has it. There was good hustling by Harvey Val in the Shamrock Rovers half just moments ago, in their area in fact. Dewsbury Hall. Disasi, Renato Vega. Cassidy back to Vega. To Disasi, Shamrock Rovers pressing a little higher in this half. Achampong tries to beat his man once more. Gives it to Tariq George. Gives it back to the fullback who's got a bit of space. finds Nkunku in the number 10 area. Plays out to Cucurella on the edge of the box. Feeds it into Vale. Tariq George now. George is able to turn after a pass from Dewsbury Hall. Achimpong. And Chelsea just slow things down again, sitting in Shamrock's half. Vega flicks it over the top towards Dewsbury Hall, but it's too long and it's straight into the arms of Shamrock's German goalkeeper, Leon Pearls. Pearls, who actually studied international business management. Made a fabulous save in the first half from Cassidy, but unfortunately has had to pick the ball out of his net 4 times. Disasi fires the ball into Nkunku. Nkunku does really well to get control of the ball in the end. He now treads on it, shoots from distance out of the keeper, and it's palmed out by Pearls. It's a decent save again from the German keeper. This was a little bit easier than the one I was just mentioning about from the first half. And Nkunku just shifted the ball onto his right foot. It was a dive to the left from the goalkeeper, and he parried it out of danger. Well played. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall forced to play the ball back to Axel Disasi. Into Dewsbury Hall, who's able to turn in the centre circle, but he just lays it off to Renato Vega. Chelsea, more and more, just finding their moments to slow things down. Dewsbury Hall tries to flick it towards Tariq George, but Honohan gets there first. Clears the ball with his left foot. That's a brilliant ball and a lovely chest down. It's played over the top towards Disasi, and he cushions it to Achimpong, and he plays it across the defence to Vega, and now Cucurella has it. Cassidy in the centre circle brings the ball into Shamrock's half. The pass was just behind Cucurella, but he managed to get it back to Renato Vega. Chelsea slowing things down once more in defence. 10 minutes gone in the second half at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea lead 4-1 against Shamrock Rovers. This will assure them of 6 wins out of 6 in this competition, and it will mean they finish top of the Conference League table. Axel Disasi for Chelsea, the former Monaco man, feeds it into Dewsbury Hall. Cassidy. Vale tries to thread it through to Nkunku's in the box, but Burns does well to make the tackle, and Shamrock managed to clear. Farrugia looking for options, gives it to Watts. He gives it back to Farrugia, bit of a loose touch, he still has it. He's running at Achimpong. Can he get past the young defender? Tries to cut inside onto his right foot, but again, Achimpong's look really impressive at right back. He's quick, he's strong, he's not afraid to run with the ball, he's got good anticipation. You suspect that when he gets a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, he'll eventually be a centre half. I always remember Sol Campbell went through a similar process when he came through at Tottenham, and in fact so did John Terry. John Terry started as a right back for Chelsea before maturing into a legendary captain in the centre of the defence for Chelsea. And I think if Achimpong was to get half the careers of either of those defenders, he's done pretty well for himself. Cucurella on the far side. Vale into Achimpong, who's right in the middle of Shamrock's half. Plays it back to Vega. Cassidy has it. Dewsbury Hall wants it. Achimpong. Dewsbury Hall now gets it. Across to Cassidy. Feeds it into Nkunku. Nkunku's done really well to find pockets of space between Shamrock's defence and midfield. He's yet to score, he's yet to have too many shots, but he's been influential in this game, the Frenchman. Mark Yu loses the ball, but it only goes as far as Dewsbury Hall. And Nkunku feeds it to Kukurea, who has a shot of his right foot, and it cannons off the post, and it's into the back of the net. And Kukurea has scored for the second straight game, this time with his right foot. Dewsbury Hall to feed the ball into Nkunku. He plays a lovely pass through to Kukurea. First touch with his left foot, second touch with his right. It beats the goalkeeper, it hits the inside of the post, and it's into the back of the net. And it's a sliding on your knees celebration from the Spanish fullback, Marc Cucurella. And with that fifth goal, it looks like Chelsea are going to make a couple of changes. It looks like it's the end of the evening for Mark Guillou, following his hat-trick. And Marc Cucurella now has the captain's armband on, so I suspect Axel Disasi is also making way. Well, Guillou is off, and on comes João Felix. And it looks like there is also a defensive change. Yes, and this is a fabulous moment because it's Harrison Murray-Campbell coming on for Chelsea in place of Axel Disasi. And from what I can tell, I believe this is Harrison Murray-Campbell's debut for Chelsea, coming on for Axel Disasi. As Chelsea have the ball on this near side with Tyreek George. Ball is in the air with João Felix. He has a shot and it just goes wide of the post. Just inside the 6-yard area. That's a really good chance for João Felix. He did well to beat the defender. He got onto his favoured right foot. He beat the goalkeeper, but he somehow just put the ball wide. As Shamrock have the ball with Marcus Poom. Poom has the ball again, the goal scorer. Shamrock play the ball back, and it's with Lopez. Ball is played down the line. João Felix. He's able to turn. And he's fouled by Lopez. Chelsea have a free kick. Lopez giving away the foul, the captain. Shamrock Rovers, who have had a really good campaign so far in this competition. Chelsea have sent players forwards, including Renato Vega's up there. Harrison Murray-Campbell's there as well. And Nkunku with the delivery, that's really poor. It's straight at the wall. Out with Cucurella, tries to feed the ball back in. That's really good control by Vale in the area. He loses out to Watts, and Shamrock managed to clear. Jorgensen gives it to Renato Vega. Into Acheampong. And it's now back with Harrison Murray-Campbell, who is making his first appearance for Chelsea. The 18-year-old, born in Luton. Ball's played down the line by Cucurella to Vale. Tries a first-time cross, it's blocked by Lopez. And Chelsea have another corner kick. Good play by the 21-year-old Harvey Vale. It'll be Nkunku who takes it. Murray Campbell coming up for this corner kick. Number 59 he's wearing. Cucurella now has the ball. Flicked into the area towards Vale. It's just a little bit too far for the substitute, and it goes out for a goal kick. What I liked just moments ago by Harrison Murray Campbell is when Chelsea had the ball in defence, Renato Vega had it, and Murray Campbell is almost dictating where he should play the ball, what he should do. Renato Vega is clearly the more senior of the players, but Harrison Murray Campbell isn't afraid to give advice and give leadership from the back. He now has the ball, the 18-year-old defender. Out to Tyreek George. It really is Chelsea's young stars on show at the moment, but Shamrock pick up the ball with Farrugia. Plays it over to Poom on the edge of the area, shoots from distance, but it's straight at Jurgensen. Not a bad effort, but down the throat of the goalkeeper in the end. Chelsea now have it with Cesare Casadei. Feeds it into Joao Felix, who's able to turn. Out to Marc Cucurella. Joao Felix, the fourth most expensive transfer in history when he went from Benfica to Atletico Madrid. Now at Chelsea for his second spell. Nice control by Lopez. Lovely touch in midfield, but in the end it trickles off Honohan. It was Johnny Kenny with the pass, but Honohan couldn't control it. And Marc Cucurella, now with the captain's armband, has the ball for Chelsea. We're in the 66th minute. It's Chelsea 5, Shamrock Rovers 1. Mark Hughes scored a hat-trick. There's also been goals from Keane and Dewsbury Hall and Marc Cucurella. Although Shamrock Rovers did equalise in the first half through their Estonian international, Marcus Poom, son of the former Derby County goalkeeper, Mark Poom. Achimpong. Chelsea with the ball in defence. Murray Campbell. Joao Felix being closely marked by Lopez. Tyreek George. Felix again. 1-2 with Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall again. Back with Murray Campbell. Achimpong. Murray Campbell again. Achimpong is the furthest player back. It appears Achimpong might have gone between the two centre-halves now. And Chelsea might be playing a back three. Or Murray Campbell's moved to right back. I can't quite work it out at the moment because Achimpong keeps dropping between the two centre-halves unless he's moved to midfield and is just filling in between the two defenders, or they've moved to a back three. I will update you once I've worked it out. But certainly fluid management and coaching from Enzo Maresca. And speaking of fluent coaching, Shamrock Rovers manager Stephen Bradley makes a change. He takes off Dylan Watts And on comes number 29, Jack Byrne, the Irish midfielder. And it's the end of the evening for the goal scorer, Marcus Poom. And on comes Danny Mandrew, formerly of Lincoln City. Acheampong. Murray Campbell. Ball goes back to Jurgensen. Acheampong. Murray Campbell has to flick it down the line towards Tyreek George. He's forced to chase it. Joshua Honohan gets there first. Kicks it into George, and that should be a goal kick. Indeed it is. This has been a wonderful campaign though by Shamrock Rovers. Before tonight they had been unbeaten in 5 games. They drew against Applewell 1-1, then they won 4-1 at Larne. They won 2-1 as the ball comes out to Joao Felix, whose shot comes in and straight at the goalkeeper. Paul stopping the Portuguese international's effort. Again, it was a bit of a mistake by the Shamrock defence. It wasn't a great clearance by Lopez. Dewsbury Hall won it, fed it into Felix, but his shot was blocked. As I was saying, they won 2-1 against the New Saints of Wales. They drew 1-1 at Rapid Vienna, and they beat Borat 3-0 at home. That's where Kenny scored twice. And at times in the first half, they held their own against the giants of English football, of European football, of world football, Chelsea FC. You've got to remember, it was in 2021 that Chelsea were the Champions League winners, with Thomas Tuchel in charge. Keane and Dewsbury Hall. Of course, Chelsea have had quite the change of players over the last few years, change of managers as well. Since Tuchel, there's been Graham Potter, there's been Frank Lampard, there's been Mauricio Pochettino, and now there's Enzo Maresca. As Murray Campbell plays it back to Acheampong. It looks like Murray Campbell's playing right back, and Acheampong is now partnering Renato Vega at centre half. Cucurella fizzes the ball into Felix, who's able to turn, feeds it down the line to Harvey Vale. Can he get across it? He does. It's low towards Nkunku, but Lopez does well. And it goes out for a throw-in on the far side. Good acceleration from Harvey Vale. It was a lovely pass from the outside of the foot by Felix. And Vale immediately looked up before he played the cross, but it was cleared. Cucurella has the ball now on the far side. Just under 20 minutes remaining of normal time in the second half. It's Chelsea 5, Shamrock Rovers 1. Tyreek George trying to beat Honohan. Cuts back onto his right foot. Feeds it into Dewsbury Hall. Murray Campbell. Felix, wonderful turn. Beats his man Gary O'Neill. Lays it off to Tyreek George. Felix gets it again. He wanted to feed it into Nkunku. Nkunku's playing more in the number 9 role now, with Felix just off him. Nkunku taking up the spaces that you took. Felix trying to put the ball through the legs of the Shamrock captain Lopez. It didn't work, and the Irish side have the ball. That was a loose pass. Felix absolutely just tossed over Danny Mandrew and gives away a free kick. Bit silly there from the former Atletico Madrid forward. As Stephen Bradley makes a couple more changes. Just passing on some information to Lee Grace. And it will be Johnny Kenny. He won't make it. 6 goals in 6 games. As he slowly makes his way off the field. Johnny Kenny on loan from Celtic. And on comes Aaron Green, veteran forward, 34 years of age. This will be his 4th appearance. And Farrugia also comes off. And on comes Graham Burke. So numbers 23 and 24 come off for 9 and 10. That's a lot more old school, isn't it, for 2 centre forwards. As the ball is bouncing around in Chelsea's box, but Jorgensen gets a hold of the ball. He's in no rush to kick it or clear it. And it's now with Murray Campbell on this near side, now playing at right back. Murray Campbell bring the ball forward, tries to thread it through to Tariq George, but it's a little bit long. The ball is played back to the goalkeeper and Pearls clears it, but only as far as Dewsbury Hall. Jack Byrne. It's now with Cleary. Feeds it into Mandrew. Gives it to O'Neill. Mandrew gets it back. A little bit of possession here for the visitors. Lee Grace, the tall centre half. Shamrock have had so little possession in this game. Lopez lays it out to Cleary. Feeds it down the line to Jack Byrne. Tries to play the ball down the line, but it goes out of play. And it will be a Chelsea throw-in on the far side. Cucurella just scanning at his options. Feeds it into Felix, who's come very deep. Plays it back to Renato Vega. And it goes back to the goalkeeper, Jorgensen. Loose pass there by Murray Campbell to Cassidy. He loses possession of the ball. Wasn't the best decision making from the Chelsea defender. Honahan tries to beat the substitute. Does really well, plays the ball into the 6-yard box, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. Murray Campbell did just enough, but he did Cassidy no favours with the short pass. Jorgensen rolls the ball out to Felix, who wasn't really expecting it. And he played it back to Acheampong, and Chelsea are now comfortable once more in defence. Acheampong plays the ball into Cassidy, who's got more space this time. Harvey Vale, not a good pass into Felix. Chelsea have just been a little bit wayward in their last few moments of their passing. Murray Campbell. Now with Acheampong. Renato Vega. Just lays it off to Harvey Vale. Plays it down the line to Cucurella, who's hugging the touchline. Plays it back to Harvey Vale, who's on the attack. Puts a cross in towards Felix. Felix controls it well in the area. Towards the touchline, has a shot across the box. Not sure if it was a cross or a shot. He scooped it with his left foot. There's good control in the first place. It went across the arms of the goalkeeper Pearls, but no Chelsea player was brave enough to put their head towards it. Dewsbury Hall and Kunku just a little bit far out. And I think it eventually went out for a throw-in. Indeed it has. As Shamrock are preparing one more change. As the ball is Pearls and Kunku nearly pounced. But he wasn't as quick as Mark Yu was in the first. Already for Shamrock Rovers. The 23-year-old Irish midfielder. Lee Grace. Over to Burke. Graham Burke, former Villa youth team player. Also used to play for Notts County and Preston North End. 31 years of age. Max has got 3 caps for Ireland. In fact, he's got a goal for his country scoring against the United States back in 2018. As Shamrock Rovers look to make their last change of the game, it's Gary O'Neill coming off. And on comes number 15, Dara Nugent. He'll have about 12 minutes of normal time to impress in front of the Stamford Bridge fans. Lee Grace flicks the ball into midfield. Burke tries to bring it down. Lovely turn there, it's a pirouette. Beautiful stuff, and he plays it back to Grace. Back to Burke. Feeds it inside to Nugent. Loose pass from Nugent to Murray Campbell, and he plays it across the defence to Renato Vega. Vega's going back towards his own goal and plays it back to his goalkeeper, who's all in orange tonight. Renato Vega. Jurgensen. Tyreek George. Ball is fed into midfield. To Felix. Out to Cucurella. Cassidy. Plays it over to Tyreek George. What can George do from here? He's going to try and run at Honahan. Honahan does really well. He blocks the cross. Ball is played back to Murray Campbell. Vega. Being closed down by Aaron Green. Brings the ball forward, gives it to Cucurella on the touchline on the far side. Loose pass by Harvey Val, and Shamrock have the ball back. Cleared in the end by Daniel Cleary. Murray Campbell wins the header. And Shamrock now have the ball. Burke. He left it for Mandrew. Burke has it again. Cuts inside. This is a good run from the veteran. He's in the area. He goes down under the challenge of Murray Campbell, and the referee says nothing. He waves it away. He looked straight at Graham Burke and said, that is not a foul. That's a fair challenge by Murray Campbell. I bet Murray Campbell, the youngster's heart was beating, because it was right on the edge of the area. Byrne tries to flick the ball over the top. Really good control by Honahan. Murray Campbell's in front of him. He's able to get the crossway. Acheampong gets there first at the near post, and Tyreek George clears. Bell loses the header. Renato Vega clears the ball high into the sky. And Nkunku battles with Lopez, but Lopez wins. Does really well there, the Shamrock captain. Byrne plays out to Cleary on the far side. He cuts back inside, gives it back to Byrne. This has been better from Shamrock in the last few minutes. Chelsea look a little bit more disjointed since some of the youngsters have come on. But Shamrock, they slip. Vale has the ball. Tyreek George now in an attacking area. He's running in towards the box. He goes down on the edge of the area. No foul given. Byrne now has it for Shamrock. It was a good attacking, aggressive run from Tyreek George, but he just ran into too many bodies. The game is opening up in the last few minutes. Burke has it. He looks up to play the ball in, but he's not got enough options in the box. Burke has it once more. Feeds it into Green. And a good bit of defending there by Murray Campbell. Kicks the ball out, and it will be a Shamrock throw-in on the near side. Although Chelsea have a player down in the penalty box. As I just get a replay on my screen of the collision between Murray Campbell and Graham Burke on the edge of the area, and really there was very little in it. I've got to say the referee was in the perfect position. An excellent bit of officiating from our French official. It was the end of the evening for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Managed to get on the score sheet this evening. And on comes another teenager for Chelsea, Samuel Raksakyi. He's been at the club as well since the under-8s. Made his debut in the 8-0 win against Noah. Back on the field again, as Byrne now has it. Gives it to Burke, gets across it. It's a really wicked delivery. There was one Shamrock player in the box, but he couldn't connect with the header, and it goes out on the far side. But it's a superb delivery with his left foot into the area. It was brilliant, but they just couldn't manage to connect with it. He's looked lively since coming on, Graham Burke. As Chelsea have a free kick in their own half. As Acheampong has it in the centre of defence. Harrison Murray-Campbell back to Acheampong. 6 minutes remaining of normal time in this second half at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 5, Shamrock Rovers 1 in the UEFA Europa Conference League. Honohan lays it back to Lee Grace, feeds it into midfield to Jack Byrne, switches it onto the far side. Darragh Burns has it. Byrne again. Back out with Burns. Cucurella's in front of him. Can he get the cross away? Cross is blocked by the Spanish defender Cucurella and goes out for a throw in on the far side. Burns is looking for options. He throws the ball back. It's now possession, bit of a loose pass though to Lee Grace. He does well to recover, but Raksakyi collects the ball for Chelsea. Cucurella feeds into Felix, who's able to turn. Plays it down the line to Tyreek George, who's now in Shamrock's penalty area. Cutting it onto his left foot. Shot comes in, it's blocked by Lopez. Keeper would have been beaten. Second ball from Valles. Headed clear in the 6-yard box. And eventually Shamrock Rovers get a free kick. Tyreek George is very frustrated with himself. He did really well to turn onto his left foot. He'd have beaten the keeper, but it went straight at the knee of Roberto Lopez, the Shamrock captain. As Mandrew plays it over to Cleary. Into Jack Byrne. Lee Grace now. Into Nugent. He loses possession and it's with Harrison Murray-Campbell. Cucurella into Raksakyi. Cucurella again. Renato Vega. And the ball goes back to Jurgensen. 4 minutes remaining of normal time at Stamford Bridge. Joshua Acheampong. Harrison Murray-Campbell. Lays it through to Cesare Casadei, who I think looked really good in central midfield. He's very composed on the ball. Of course, he was on loan last season at Leicester, playing for Enzo Maresca. He has received the red card in this competition. That happened 2 games ago against Heidenheim, when Chelsea won 2-0 in Germany. He's looked very accomplished in midfield this evening in West London. Samuel Raksakyi to Harrison Murray-Campbell, feeds it through to Casadei. Defender comes over, he's pushed down, and that'll be a Shamrock Rovers free kick. It was Lee Grace who just got in front of the young Italian. He just did enough, the tall centre half, 32 years of age. So it will be a Shamrock Rovers free kick, which their goalkeeper, Leon Poles, will take. I've got to say, I don't think any of the 5 goals could be put down to Leon Poles. Maybe he was a little bit slow with the pass back. He was slightly out of position for the first goal, albeit I would say it was the passes back to him which weren't great rather than necessarily his positioning. And there was not much he could do about Dewsbury Hall's goal, not much he could do about Mark Hughes' header. That was fantastic. Kukureya's goal for the fifth was perfectly placed into the corner as well. He's actually made a couple of good saves, the German goalkeeper. As Chelsea have it with Rak-Sat-Ki playing it back to Achimpong. If you're just joining us, these are the Chelsea players. Yes, they've got a lot of youngsters out now. Although one of their more famous names is Christopher Nkunku, who wins a foul. Darren Nugent giving away possession. Kukureya to Renato Veiga. Over to Murray Campbell. He wants to play the ball forward, but he doesn't find an option, so he gives it back to Achimpong. Murray Campbell gets the ball again. He's running into the space now, trying to play the ball around the defender. Honohan comes over. He's battling with him at the corner flag. Really good battling there. Comes loose to... Andrews switches it onto the far side. Nice control though by Dara Burns. Cleary's given him an option to his right. No one's really closing down the wing back as of yet. Burke to Burn. Burns. Ball is fed through to Burn. Plays it back to Cleary and it hits his own player. What on earth was his own player doing? It was Green. Greeny still has the ball. He's giving it to Burke. Shot comes in and straight at the goalkeeper. But Cleary had a good chance there. Aaron Green just needed to get out of the way. There was a lovely pass through to Jack Byrne. He pulled the ball back to Cleary. It deflected off Cassidy. It fell towards Green. And Shamrock couldn't capitalise as we approach 90 minutes at Stamford Bridge. Joshua Achimpong. Murray Campbell. Plays the ball over the top to Tyreek George. He's going to get there in the area. Honohan does brilliantly. But George has the ball once more. We've passed 90 minutes. There'll be 2 minutes of added time. Cesare Cassidy has the ball in Shamrock's area. Closed down brilliantly by Darren Nugent. That's excellent defending from the midfielder. The ball goes out of play for a throw on the near side. Stephen Bradley just talking to his assistants as the Shamrock fans continue to sing in the away end at Stamford Bridge. They've got to see their team score against one of the biggest sides in European football, and at times impressed in this game. But the sheer money and the might of Chelsea was always like to come out on top. But Chelsea will be pleased that they've got through this game pretty much unscathed. They'll be pleased that they made it 6 wins out of 6 to finish top of this Conference League phase. And they'll be pleased that some of the youngsters who've impressed in this game, Joshua Achimpong among them. But Darren Burns has the ball on the far side. Cleary puts the cross in, and the goalkeeper comes out and collects it very calmly. That's well played by Jurgensen, and he rolls the ball out to Murray Campbell. He feeds it into Felix. He's closed down, he goes down very easily, the Portuguese forward, but it's definitely a foul. Felix wants the ball back quickly. But the full-time whistle blows. Enzo Maresca shakes the hand of Shamrock Rovers head coach Stephen Bradley. Chelsea began well in this game. They dominated possession and finally took the lead after...
By an opponent, he's asking questions, he's saying why to Bruno Fernandes. That's of uncertainty now all around the official.
Well, he's on his feet. Bruno Fernandes has already been yellow carded in this match. I mean, I'm not convinced that the officials have seen it, if he has been caught. And Fraser Forster actually put the ball out for a throw, and the referee's saying, come on, take the goal kick. But he actually had the ball and he threw it out for a throw. And the referee is saying, what's he saying? He's telling Fraser Forster he needs to get on with it, but I think Fraser... have seen it, if he has been caught, and Fraser Forster actually put the ball out for a throw, and the referee's saying, come on, take the goal kick, but he actually had the ball and he threw it out for a throw, and the referee is saying, what's he saying? He's telling Fraser Forster he needs to get on with it, but I think I'm not sure the referee has seen that Forster threw it out for a throw, and I think that's what he's telling him. So the referee's run all the way back to Fraser Forster, and he says, I'm going to restart play with a drop ball.
You see Fraser Forster there just wait for Xerxes before he picks it up.
Semi-final in this competition for 3 years. Yellow card is shown for Bergval. Now Manchester United have got a free kick that Kulusevski's standing in front of the ball. He's forcing Bayinda to take it further back.
One chance. Look how high line Spurs players are. They're going to punch it right over the top. Can we see late drama?
Tottenham are almost there. This is the last chance. Forward and long from Bayinda. Cleared away by Dragusin. And that is the last touch of the match. What a roller coaster this has been. And Tottenham have won it. Tottenham are through. They've won by 4 goals to 3. They were clearing away at 3-0 up. Manchester United stormed back into it with the goalkeeping errors, back to 4-3. But then we saw that thrilling final goal from Son from the corner flag, scoring directly from a corner. And Manchester United are out, and Tottenham are in the semi-finals. Michael Brown.
Absolute remarkable game of football. Cup ties at its best in this country. Spurs were cruising 3-0 up, but because of the history we never felt fully comfortable. But two huge errors from the goalkeeper allowed Manchester United to dominate later stages of the second half. You felt like they were going to come back and take it to penalties, but then as Son takes his chance when he could have maybe kept it in the corner, he fizzes the ball right around, and the goalkeeper Binder makes a huge mistake. He asked for a foul, he was never going to get it, and as it dropped into that far corner, the Spurs fans went delirious. It had everything in this game, and finally Spurs make it through.
Yeah, Manchester United, after the Manchester derby dramas, more drama here, but that is 3 defeats in 8 matches under Ruben Amorim, out in the quarter-final here. But for Tottenham now a first semi-final to look forward to under Ange Postecoglou in his second season. And the place is jumping. The Manchester United supporters, almost 6,000 of them, many of them have gone already. The ones who are still here are applauding what was a spirited comeback. But Tottenham have won it. Tottenham 4, Manchester United 3.
Just a few moments ago we saw by India the Manchester United goalkeeper still pointing at his left arm. Michael still making a fuss about that Son goal, but I mean, you know, was it just simply a case of some bad goalkeeping, or does it just say much more about the strengths and weaknesses of these two teams?
Well, I think you look and you get an opportunity to come in the team. You've not played as many minutes as you would like, that's for certain. But when the goalkeeper comes to take it, you've got to be powerful. You've got to be strong. There is a little bit of contact in his left arm. Goalkeepers might say yes, there was contact. That's enough there to stop the punch. But if you're coming to really clean it out, he goes to punch and has enough time with his right arm to hit it, misses it completely. But goalkeeper errors all around today was the difference. But not just that, we see some wonderful patterns of play and football with desire, with tempo. Some top things we've seen, and it is going to be overshadowed by the goalkeepers. But to see as many goals in a cup tie like this has just been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, we said at half-time 1-0 was not going to be the final score, was it? And we could have had penalties all the way up into injury time.
We were sat waiting for them. You said it at half-time. John mentioned, could we see penalties just before we come back on air? And I was sort of thinking, every chance. But at 3-0, I mean, there's only Spurs could end the game like that, with uncertainty. And even at 4-2, I even said, I'm not comfortable. Johnny Evans scores, I'm thinking, surely not. We're not going to see a late capitulation yet again. But they're taking the rewards, the walking round, and that was a big moment there for Ange Postecoglou, from cruising to disappointment to finally getting through.
I was going to say his blood pressure must have, if he had a blood pressure monitor on him throughout the game, you know, it would have gone off the chart at various points. But I mean, Ruben Amorim as well, just watching his body language. They did hug each other at the end, the managers. They put each other through the mill, those two teams.
Well, they did, but ultimately I felt the changes, as we talked to Aaron Lennon pre-game about looking at the team sheet from a Spurs perspective. Manchester United resting one or two too many has certainly cost them, and at 3-0 they were out of sight. They didn't start the second half after a good first half, by the way, well enough, but then goalkeeper error allowed them to come back in. After that they showed a good reaction, but still building blocks for Manchester United. A long way to go to get anywhere near to the best, we know that, but there's a learning curve for Amorim and his team tonight.
Well, look, we're going to take a bit of a breath from you two. We'll come back and we'll record a podcast, so a bonus Football Daily podcast to come on this game. So many talking points in it, and also more interviews to come during Tony's show, which is coming up. Let's reflect on the Conference League tonight. Hearts were facing the Moldovan champions Petro Kubin, Tynecastle, and Kenny Crawford. I mean, you would have very much fancied Hearts to go through on this one, but what happened in the end?
It's full-time Hearts 2, Petro Cup 2. Eleanor, Hearts' dismal season has taken another nosedive because they failed to win what they saw as a really winnable game. They always looked ahead to this final group game as the one that they would probably get 3 points from. They secured 6 points early on, but then lost their next 3 games, meaning they needed to win tonight to be sure of a passage into that that playoff round, and they've not managed to do it. The visitors went ahead in the 20th minute. Sergio Platichka's well-placed volley from 8 yards, but then Hearts turned it around. James Wilson, the 17-year-old striker, on 64 minutes, netting nicely, and then Blair Spittle planting a header into the right corner on 70 minutes. It looked as if they'd sorted it out, but then they conceded a penalty, Hearts, on 83 minutes. James Penrise's handball on the line, and Victor Mudrak stepped up to score that for the Moldovans. So the thing that happened is they were sitting 24th in the last spot that would have got them through, but then a Serbian team called Baka Topola, who were drawing 3-3 with Noah, they scored an 83rd minute winner, Baka Topola, the Serbians, to go up into 24th and put Hearts down into 25th. So they've missed out, Hearts, of progression by just one place, and that will pile huge pressure on head coach Neil Critchley, former QPR and Blackpool man. Their next home game, Hearts, is against St Johnstone here at Tynecastle at the weekend. Then they've got Hibs at home, so that is 2 games which you might wonder whether his future will depend on the outcome of those 2 games, because they're 1 point adrift at the bottom of the Premiership at the moment. So a miserable night for Hearts. Full time here, Hearts 2, Petra Cup 2.
Well, Chelsea were already through to the last 16 before kick-off tonight at Stamford Bridge against Shamrock Rovers, but another dominant performance by the home team, Paul Scott.
Yeah, they're in fine form right now. Chelsea going through to the last 16 as league winners. It's 6 wins from 6 in the Conference League this year. The kids have done all right. This one was never really in doubt tonight. Mark Guiu scoring a first half hat-trick. 2 of them were gifts by defensive errors from Shamrock Rovers. Keenan Dewsbury Hall grabbed the other one before half-time to give Chelsea a 4-1 lead. That's after Marcus Poom pulled one back for the visitors. You might recognise the surname. He's the son of former Derby goalkeeper Mark Poom. Mark Cucurella scored the only goal of the second half. It's only his 3rd goal for the club in 2.5 years, and it's his 2nd of the week. It is 8 wins in a row now for Chelsea in all competitions. They are in fantastic form right now. Chelsea 5, Shamrock Rovers 1.
Thank you, Paul. Elsewhere, Welsh champions, the New Saints, and Irish champions, Larne, are both out of the Europa Conference. Let's catch up with the evening session at Alexandra Palace. James Gregg at the darts.
A superb 3rd match that one was. Scott Shaggy Williams, last year's semi-finalist, turning the tables after losing the first set. He took the second. In the 3rd, he, just ramped the standard massively up. And no luck. 3rd dart for a 180 got the crowd really G'd up. He then took that 3rd set, and in a tight 4th, he was averaging 98 throughout the match, was Williams. His opponent 96, by the way. He held his nerve to book a spot in round 2. The man from Boston, brilliant here at the Palace. A proper darting dogfight, that one. Next up, here on stage, last up, Michael Smith, world champion 2 years ago. He's taken to the hockey against Kevin Doertz, the Dutchman, and I'll be with Tony telling you how that one goes all the way through.
Lovely, thank you very much indeed, James. Also news of the semi-final draw in the League Cup coming up as well. Spurs going through alongside Arsenal, Newcastle and Liverpool. And I think, Tony, you might get some reaction.
What a shambles
from some
that
managers. I was going to say, if there's any swearing involved, there was a little bit of swearing from Tyson Fury earlier on in that extraordinary press conference ahead of the Usyk fight. But yeah, if you can be a manager and not swear at some of the goalkeeping we saw at the very least.
If there are 2 worst keepers in the Premier League, I've yet to see them. That was terrible, Ellie.
It was terrible. But
terrible
brilliant.
fun.
And why we love football. Terrible fun, exactly.
Yeah, I'm worried John Murray's listening and thinking it's a reflection on him. It's not. It's just it was absolute chaos, wasn't it? But you're right. We've got we're going to get reaction. I think we're going to be live in the tunnel for Ange Postecoglou, which will be interesting. We'll hear from Amarin as well, and we've got the draw. Ellie will bring everyone news of the League Cup semi-final draw as it happens. So that's great. Thank you very much, Ellie.
Lovely. Speak to you soon.
But the best news...
Happy Christmas if I don't.
Mary, I need to say Merry Christmas because I've come in tonight, Ellie, and found out that I'm not in on Monday. So that's it for me. What a bonus, eh? And for the listeners.
Christmas comes early to the Livesey household.
It's all good. Cheers, Ellie. See you soon. Merry Christmas. Bye. She's gone, and I never asked her. She was the one person. We've got some wassailers on the show tonight, and Ellie's was the one person who could have explained what a wassailer was. Anyway, we'll find out a little bit later on. Hello, everyone. It's late on 5 Live. Yeah, football fans, stay with us because we're going to get reaction from that amazing game between Spurs and Man United, and we'll bring you the semi-final draw as it happens as well. Time now for the news, though, on 5 Live. Here's Tim Daly.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Yes, good evening. It's believed the Labour peer Lord Mandelson is to be announced as the new British ambassador to the United States. He was a key figure in Tony Blair's government and will take up the role when Donald Trump becomes president again. Our correspondent at Westminster, Helen Catt, says the appointment is an unusual move.
For a long time, this role has been held by civil servants, and we know that Rishi Sunak's pick was reportedly the former National Security Ambassador, Sir Tim Barrow, in the summer. That was frozen. Labour decided to look for its own man. As we understand it, what is key to that decision is Lord Mandelson's experience in trade. He was the Business Secretary under Gordon Brown, and he was the UK's Trade Commissioner for the EU.
Giselle Pellico says she doesn't regret making the rape trial of her ex-husband public after he was jailed for 20 years. Dominique Pellico admitted repeatedly drugging her and organising strangers to rape her over a 10-year period at their home in the south of France. 50 other men have been jailed. Downing Street has said Keir Starmer has confidence in the Treasury Minister Tulip Siddiq after she was named in a corruption investigation in Bangladesh. It's alleged her family embezzled nearly £4 billion from a major infrastructure project. It's part of an inquiry about her aunt, who was recently deposed as Prime Minister there. Ms Siddiq has denied the allegations. The man accused of shooting dead the CEO of America's biggest health insurance company has appeared in court in New York after being extradited from Pennsylvania. Luigi Mangione faces charges including
All right, people. It's all over here at Tottenham for Manchester United 3 guys, and so Tottenham they advance to the next stage of the EFL Carabao Cup, the semi-final stage like that, at the expense of Manchester United here. And what a roller coaster of a game, guys! What a truly encounter here. 4-3, Manchester United.